Hello everybody, this is PotterBrony and welcome to another battle reaction of DeathBattle. This time we have Lara Croft versus Nathan Drake, Tomb Raider versus Uncharted. Okay, before I get into it, let me just say a couple of things. First thing, I know that in previous video I had made a statement about how I would be cutting down on my reaction videos, mainly due to busy life, busy work, that type of stuff. But the fact remains, with DeathBattle, I kind of gave it the caveat that, I would react to it if the characters themselves grabbed my attention, if they were someone that I were really interested in, and that is not technically the case with these two. I've played both the game. Well, not all the games, but I've played games for both of these characters, and they're good games. They're decent games. I know very, very little about these characters. Maybe not enough to say this statement completely, but in my opinion, they'll never compare to the OG of Indiana Jones, because let's face it, it's like, who knew that archaeologists had led such interesting lives, right? Apparently they're all action stars too, go figure. But why I'm doing this one in particular, mainly because I wanted to watch it, I wanted to support. This is my way of supporting the voice actress for Lara Croft in this instance, who happens to be Ellie Monty. And if you don't know, I'm sure many of you do, considering I'm sure that my viewers tend to be more brony than not. Ellie Monty is very famous within the brony community. She's a very famous brony. And not famous brony in the way that, say, Billy Bob Thornton's a famous brony. Billy Bob Thornton, who happened to be married at one point to Angelina Jolie, who played Lara Croft. So, you notice that weak little segue I kind of forced in there, right? Now, she's famous within the brony community, wonderful voice actress, wonderful singer. Looking forward to seeing how she lends her voice to this particular character. Not sure who's going to win this one. Like I said, I can't make any predictions based on the very little that I know about them. They're both pretty skilled fighters, good with weapons. Apparently that's a need for archaeology, but whatever. I'm still like to see Indiana Jones join the fray, but what are you gonna do? Alright, so now we've got Lara Croft versus Nathan Drake. Two archaeologists, two treasure hunters, whatever you want to call them. Let's get it going. In 3, 2, 1, and go.
This episode of DeathBattle is brought to you by Go90, the free digital entertainment service featuring TV shows, original series, esports, concerts, live sports, and behind-the-scenes access to some of your favorite musical artists. Watch Go90 free on your phone, tablet, laptop, or cast to your TV. Visit go90.com or download the app on your iOS or Android device today, and be sure
I hope
to
you're
check
not
out
watching
Go90's
anything,
new original series,
because that doesn't seem
exclusively
safe.
on Go90.
Should just be listening to music while riding. No watching. Alright. Got a new logo too. That looks fucking awesome.
An archaeologist needs a bit more than a
See,
shovel
there
and
you go.
brush, especially when they're on the hunt for the most
The
legendary
OG.
of treasure.
Yeah, if it were that easy, everyone would be doing it. The best treasure hunters are the ones with the brawn to match their brain.
Like Lara Croft, the Tomb Raider.
And Nathan Drake, seeker of the Uncharted. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Most people spend their entire lives in pursuit of wealth, status, and power. But Lara Croft was lucky enough to be born into them. However, despite attending the best schools
Liking the new
and living in
setups.
her own
Alright,
mansion,
shut up and listen.
she was missing one crucial thing: adventure.
Man, rich people are always looking for some crazy way to help keep themselves entertained. But if you have a lot of money and you take a lot of trips, it's good odds that one of those trips is bound to go horribly wrong.
And guess what?
Yeah, that
It
seems to be
Before
usual.
she was even old enough to order a drink, a crash landing left her stranded in desolation. She had to learn for herself how to adapt and survive for over a week before returning to civilization as a whole new lady.
In whatever Tomb Raider timeline you're looking at, whether it's on an island or the Himalayas, Lara's destined to this life-changing fate.
I'm never getting on a plane with her.
Surprisingly, Lara's experience left her far from traumatized. Instead, she was inspired, hooked by the thrill of perilous adventure. So she struck out on her own, seeking lost treasure across
course.
the globe to make a name for herself.
But Lara's no fool, so first she made sure she'd be ready for anything. She tracked down the best teachers she could find to learn her the ways of stealth, survival, and martial arts.
She became proficient in numerous types of firearms, and her martial art of choice appears very reminiscent to kickboxing. She can even fight while blindfolded.
So she's basically Batman, who treasure hunts with guns. Speaking of which, Lara is famous for her trademark dual Heckler & Koch pistols. And I'm not talking about the things under her sweater, but she's also skilled with
Who's that
shotguns,
from?
assault rifles, submachine guns, even grenades. And she uses them to take down everything from armed thugs to T-Rexes.
Lara is also skilled with a competition compound bow, perfect for stealth kills.
And she's got enough trick arrows to make Green Arrow proud. She's got fire arrows, poison arrows, explosive tipped arrows, and even rope arrows for crossing gaps or grappling things. And while her climbing axe is supposed to be used for scaling up cliffs, you can imagine what the thing does to a human skull. Oh wait, you don't have to. Watch.
Yeah, because you can do it.
Lovely.
Gruesome murder aside, Lara's extensive training paid off in big ways. She's discovered the legendary blade Excalibur, the Philosopher's Stone, the Ark of the Covenant, Thor's hammer Mjolnir, and even Bigfoot, whom she also promptly killed.
Suck it, Sasquatch. She survived dinosaurs, the Kraken, a Chinese dragon, and she even found
Let's say about the
long-lost
Ark of the
Led
Covenant,
Zeppelin
though.
song Stairway to Heaven.
What? No. She found a literal stairway to heaven.
Really? Holy shit!
For a 132-pound woman, she's surprisingly strong. She's held up a heavy gate for 36 straight seconds while drowning. She also regularly pushes around enormous boulders, like the giant blocks in the Pyramid of Giza. This makes her easily strong enough to, say, punch a man through a wooden beam.
Lara's also a crack shot. She can precisely tag multiple targets in less than a second, even if they're button-sized bolts or kunai flying through the air.
She's skilled enough to infiltrate and escape Area 51.
Alright, so maybe just a little bit better than Indiana Jones.
In the heat of battle and keep fighting. And she's tough enough to dive off a 250-foot cliff into water with no injury whatsoever.
Just
the
saying,
highest
that's my
documented
childhood,
dive
so...
ever recorded is 193 feet. But unlike Lara, this driver underwent weeks of preparation and still broke his collarbone.
Hell, this girl can survive almost anything. When she was younger, she got impaled by a rusty metal spike and was still able to complete an entire adventure while in constant pain.
She wasn't even able to properly treat it. She had to cauterize it with a burning arrow tip.
Damn, that's hardcore. I think I found my next ex-wife. And then there was that one time she
Yeah, don't
threw
you
a
wish.
climbing axe at a helicopter and it just exploded.
Yeah, the only logical explanation being she threw the axe into the chopper's air intake, shredded its internals, which caused a spark that reached its gas tank.
She made the helicopter explode with nothing but an axe. That girl's got one hell
That's
of an
all
arm.
you need to
I
say.
think we can all agree Lara is a badass, but she thinks so too, and can get a bit reckless.
If she gets too full of it, she could always find herself at the wrong end of a tree branch, crushed by boulders, mauled by wolves, shot in the head, stabbed through the face, all sorts of horrific fatal
Ugh,
mistakes.
Jesus
Even
Christ.
knowing that, the
I haven't
risk
played
doesn't
those new
keep her
ones.
from any of her bewildering adventures.
Don't you think you've seen enough?
Oh,
Sick,
video gaming
harvest,
perverts.
magnet. To most people, these words hold little meaning, but for globetrotting explorer Nathan Drake, it's his life motto: greatness from small beginnings.
And beginnings don't get much smaller than his. Little Nate spent half his childhood in a boys' home, where he was raised by nuns, picked on by bullies, and pretty much just hated on for every second of his life.
Nathan found solace in his fascination with history, particularly the explorer who found El Dorado, Sir Francis Drake. And like his idol, Nathan dreamed of one day escaping the orphanage to go on treasure hunts of his own.
And he did, with his big brother Sam. The treasure? They're dead mom's old journals about Mr.
Very
Drake
different
himself.
beginnings.
Turns out they were in some old lady's house, so they broke in, she called the cops, and then immediately died of a heart attack.
Obviously not wanting to
Which
be
means
caught
you have to get
trespassing
out
and
now.
standing over a dead woman when the police arrived, Nathan began a life on the run.
Talk about shitty luck. Man, all he wanted was a book.
Fortunately, Nathan seemed born for the treasure hunter's life. He's exceptionally athletic, has encyclopedic historical knowledge, and can find a way out of almost any bad situation with his quick wit.
He'd make sure that everyone would remember the name Nathan Drake.
After several solo adventures, Nathan eventually teamed up with Victor Sullivan, a former Navy officer turned expert con artist. Sully taught Nathan the ways of combat, both with his fists and with firearms.
Good thing, too, because it seems like everybody out there wants to take a shot at Nate. He almost always has a .45 Defender or 9mm pistol on hand, as well as a couple grenades. Nate can rack up the body count with just about any weapon he touches, including machine guns, shotguns, grenade launchers, and sniper rifles. Hey, when there's a literal army of bad guys out to kill you, you gotta become a one-man army yourself.
Ready for anything, Nathan set out to follow in his idol's footsteps, and then some. He's discovered 5 lost civilizations, stopped multiple world-ending threats, and even unlocked the secret of El Dorado like Sir Francis Drake before him.
Yeah, turns out it's not a city of gold, just a dead guy that turns people into zombies.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Didn't see that one coming. Anyway, Nate wouldn't have done any of those things if he weren't physically fit for the job. He's strong enough to move boulders twice his size and hold up a 4-ton gate for 4 seconds. He can climb huge cliffs with nothing but his fingertips and constantly jumps humongous gaps without needing a running start.
The standing broad jump world record is 12 feet and 3 inches. In this instance, Nathan Drake was able to make a 19-foot jump from a standstill. 19 feet! And he's always clearing similar jumps throughout his adventures.
Nate's got hops, but he's also got an iron hide. The dude is constantly falling dozens of feet and just shaking it off. Like that time he did a 40-foot belly flop and got right back up like it was nothing. That could kill a normal guy.
Nathan Drake is nothing if not determined. When he found himself cornered on a train
so far they seem
and bleeding
pretty
out from a bullet
even.
wound, his solution was to simply blow the whole thing to oblivion.
What
Yeah,
a
why
convenient
not?
pile of propane tanks.
But of course, he survived the crash and even climbed to safety, despite having no way of knowing he'd get out of this whole mess alive at all.
On top of all that, look what he's wearing. It's freezing up there.
Actually, explosions generally seem to be his exit of choice, like when he blew up a cargo plane while flying over Saudi Arabia.
After surviving the trip to the ground, he wandered the desert for 2 straight days with 0 food or water. But even with all that, when he found a bunch of mercenaries who wanted to kill him, he was still able to fight them off. How is this guy real? What kind of deal did he make with Satan? Because he should know that that stuff comes with a terrible price. Believe me.
All of this just proves
speaking
how
from
careless and
experience.
haphazard Nathan really is. This man rarely, if ever, has a plan.
Alright, so that's
for
how he
anything
survived that
at
plane
any
crash.
point. Nearly every moment of his life, whether he's in or out of danger, Nathan's philosophy insists that he simply roll with whatever punches come his way. When it comes down to it, much of his survivability can be chalked up to an abundance of good luck.
And also his incredible
Yeah,
knack
this
for
reminds me
improvising
of,
and adapting. Lucky or not, hundreds, if not
luck and
thousands
improvisation
of bad
reminds
guys
me a
have
lot
tried
of
to
the
beat
Indiana
into some
Jones stuff.
treasure and lost. It's good odds that if you go up against Nathan Drake, you're not just gonna lose that treasure, you're gonna lose your life.
What the hell did you do back there?
Oh, you know, save the world.
The usual. It's only Tuesday.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
Oh no, it's
But
Wednesday.
first, I'm
Oh, that's
gonna
right,
tell
you
how to
sponsored
save
Subway.
your relationship.
Alright,
Valentine's Day is rapidly approaching, and you're probably still looking for a gift for your significant other or
I
love interest.
can't call
Or maybe
this
you're
one.
like me
They
and
seem
want a
pretty
festive
evenly
way
matched to
deliver
me.
this month's alimony
Although,
check.
to
Well,
my
there's
eyes,
an easy, foolproof solution.
just based on
ProFlowers.com,
the training,
a service that lets you choose
they didn't
from a
much go
lovely
go
bouquet.
much into the training of
Select
Nathan
the delivery
Drake,
date
but
and ProFlowers will deliver them. Plus, the flowers are
Laura Croft's
guaranteed to
training
last
seems
for
to be
7
more
days or
extensive.
your
She
money
seems to
back.
be more
Looking
skilled,
at your
so
wallet right now? Well, good news.
I'm
As
kinda
of
leaning
DeathBattle
towards
viewer,
Lara
you can
Croft.
get 2 dozen assorted roses with a free glass vase for $29.99.
no, I'm saying this while all this
Heading to
commercial crap is playing. I'm
ProFlowers.com.
just gonna turn it
Click on
down
the
here.
microphone in the top right corner and enter promo
So,
code DeathBattle. Or if you want to go the extra mile, upgrade the delivery to 2 dozen long-stemmed roses.
Yeah,
and
I
a free
really
premium
can't
vase
decide
and chocolate
that
for
much,
an
but
additional $9.99.
I'm just gonna lean
So
towards
head to
Lara Croft.
ProFlowers.com, click the microphone in the upper right-hand corner, and enter promo code DeathBattle. But right now, it's time for a death battle!
Alright, here we go. Did they have their attack for their game on the back of that truck?
Damn, it's cold up
Super
here.
rad ray gun?
Okay, let's try.
That seems promising.
Gotcha.
Stop! Turn around. Slowly.
Ah, crap. Hey there. I'm guessing the whole finders keepers rule isn't gonna apply.
Cut the chit-chat. The Grail's coming with me. Either walk away or die right here. Choose wisely.
Okay, Missy. First rule about me. I don't walk away.
Yeah, she just let him pull his gun, though. That's,
It never fails. I get to the gold at the end
I know
of
you
the
couldn't have
rainbow
the fight.
and somebody tries to kill me. Not a scratch.
Do you know what you've done?
well, as if the bullets didn't...
That's probably not good. Okay, that's definitely
Now
not
remember,
good.
don't take it past the seal. Well, everything's collapsing anyway, so it doesn't matter. Useful. And he's out. Now you gotta catch him. How the fuck did you climb? Oh, you have the arrow with the rope thing, I was gonna say. Hey, he's driving here.
Sorry, have to do what I have to do.
Ah, crap.
Did he jump out? Yeah, he jumped out. Somehow. And he stole your helicopter. Now blow it up. That sucks.
Not a scratch.
KO!
Oh, nice shot! Told you she had a good arm.
Lara and Nathan
Yeah,
both
it somehow
displayed
blew it
impressive
up.
feats
Can't
of
figure it
strength, durability, agility, and weapon skills. But Lara tended to have the edge in every category.
Both of them were way stronger than you'd think. Nathan shoved a boulder large enough to weigh 20 tons. That means he literally had the strength of 10 men.
But in Lara's case, she moved several limestone blocks used in the Great Pyramids. Not only did she move them much farther distances than Nathan, but given their size and makeup, these blocks should weigh over 27 tons each.
Lara's way tougher too, and has been through things that definitely would
Freaking
have taken
Superman.
Nate out.
Like when she was impaled by rebar, but was still able to accomplish everything necessary to survive a hostile island for a week. Nathan suffered a bullet wound in the same area of the body, and while he powered through the pain for a short time, he soon passed out and was unconscious while under intensive care for 3 days.
Take my word for it, I've been through pretty much everything you could think of, and I'd rather take a bullet than rebar any day. And that rebar thing happened when Lara was pretty young. Later, she got all sorts of combat and survival training from experts. Well, Nate was mostly self-taught, with a few pointers every so
Yeah, that's
often.
about what I
Oh,
thought.
man. Also, when the pressure's really on, Lara manages to always keep a cool head. Much better than Nate.
So, you got a plan C?
Yeah, floor it. I'm getting on that train.
What
What are you, crazy?
Nathan Drake did just about everything by the seat of his pants, and eventually, luck always runs out.
Yeah, she was just too crafty for him.
The winner is Lara Croft.
Alright.
Next time on
What do we got
DeathBattle.
next time? Scrooge McDuck. I was gonna say, this seems really familiar. Who the fuck is Scrooge McDuck gonna fight?
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our Season 4 premiere. I'm Ben, I play Wiz.
I'm Chad, I play Boomstick.
And next time we've got Scrooge McDuck versus... Well, you gotta find out by sticking to our Twitter. That's at
Donald
Screwtack,
Trump.
or our Facebook official SA.
Why
If
not?
you want to be the first to watch Death Battle, you can always become a first member by clicking the link in the description below and start a 30-day free trial to support the show. Thanks.
I don't remember that show. I used to watch that. Maybe I might have to do next Death Battle too. It's gonna be really hard to just not do these. Still, with not doing other stuff, and do find the time to do these two. So yeah, that was Death Battle, Lara Croft versus Nathan Drake, and I'm not all too surprised. I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't sure. It seemed like she had the edge, and I guess I kind of called that one. So, great Death Battle. I'm loving the new graphics, the new backgrounds that they have there. I ain't got no problems with the new season stuff that they pulled out here. And you have to update, make things look fresh and that type of stuff. So yeah, good job, guys. Be sure to show your support. Link to the original in the description below. And I want to thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Until next time, take care. Bye.